Flies very close to those tanks. Blam, there goes. Oh, blam, blam, blam. There go the tanks. And Fantasy looking in trouble now. Getting some tanks from the back though. He's gonna start sieging on those tanks on the bridge, very close by, trying to get him from the back, trying to make sure the HiyA cannot continue this pressure. HiyA does seem to want to expand it at 6. Fantasy already has expanded that to 12, but there are vultures all over the place, and the vulture terrorist being really terrorized, has some Goliaths in there to help him pick those off, but lost a lot of SVs just in that, trying to lower that tank number. Has some tanks at his own positions, but has vultures right on him. Not even, getting some mines close, not quite managing to drag those into the tanks, but not overall in a very good position to be right now. Has a Wraith in there like, damn you, but SCV might actually counteract that entire thing, but does have control tower coming up, so might be start working on Dropship soon. Don't expect any Midas maneuvers from Fantasy going for like mass amount of Wraiths. Don't think he's in the position to do that at the moment. HiyA just now getting his 3rd base going, but Fantasy has been losing more troops and lost some SCVs at the 12, so can't say that if for sure in the better position. And just now getting his 5th factory up, might want to try to go out there, try to do some damage of his own, try to put on some more pressure, spotting this 6 rather, forcing SCVs off the line, and might force a cancel, does force a cancel in the engineering base. So it's not a lot of resources, but every little bit helps. A lot of mines up there, so tanks want to be careful. Mine gonna go and then explode on him. Well, another mine. Oh my god, those mines are freaking cheat mines. Are you kidding me? Those tanks are gonna go down. Could have gone down earlier and picked off a lot of SCVs with them, but HiyA, they're very lucky, very lucky. Fantasy meanwhile going to expand the upper right hand position, so he did put on some pressure, and he's probably going to still manage to defend this position back at home, just appearing at one of those tanks, forcing the SCV to prepare constantly. So that's some resources, you don't want to be spending. Fantasy also has some dropships out there, and you want to be careful when you allow Fantasy access to vultures and dropships. Put those things together, you have a recipe for trouble, my friend. Science facility also out there. Vulture is going to go for that 12 right away. Nothing but a Goliath in there to defend. That's not going to last very long. SCV is going to come off the line. Not many SCVs that really, when you look at it. But Final Fantasy has some of his own return vultures coming in here. Not going to be enough overall to get rid of all this pressure. Meanwhile, Fantasy has done a great job forcing a float at the 12. Has a lot of forces in there. Knows that he's not having a great time defending, so early he's put on some pressure. Has a lot of tanks and a huge amount of his forces, so he knows that, okay, this damage that's being done back home, at the very least he can do that damage back, putting down some mines, make sure that HiyA's going to have a hard time retaking that position, but HiyA meanwhile going to pressure his natural expansion. Fantasy at the very least has a very short resupply route right now, might still, not in dire straits and not in a horrible position to be in. Marines go kablam. In red, oh my, might lose that command, sir, if he's not if he doesn't start repairing it any second now. Dropship hasn't really done much at all from what I saw, and I think the command center went boom. Not too sure though. Might be being repaired at the Natural Expo. Gotta go for a drop inside of HiyA's main. This is smart. You gotta do the most amount of damage you can. Just pick off as many SCVs as you can. Do economic damage. Force HiyA to send some of his forces back, and HiyA's not even doing that. Finally pulling his SCVs off. Clearing the minefield at the main. Finally see a Goliath and some tanks coming in here to pick off these vultures. Not planning on any mines, but I want to start planning on some mines so that the opportunity strikes. But just near those factories, yeah, right there. But already nice dropship use here from Fantasy. Gonna go for this for this natural expansion as well. Only 2 vultures this time, but every little bit counts. Going for more vultures here outside of his own base. Gonna start clearing this up, putting some mines down. And not quite successfully this time. HiyA with some nice reactions bench to take care of that. But every little bit of damage right now. Fantasy knows he has to put on the pressure, has to do some economic damage. That upper right hand position, beam ball that being put up, and doesn't seem like HiyA spots that out. Meanwhile, now tanks coming in here from the back from Fantasy. Finally going to come clear this up. Like, dude, your time to die for you. But it does seem like HiyA has pretty much exhausted that early unit advantage that he had. He didn't do quite as much damage as he would have done. Now Fantasy seems to have a lot of forces out there moving across the middle. HiyA's going to have to try to hold him back right now. Does a good job now with those vultures at the front and tanks at the back. Yeah, Fantasy being a little bit too... Oh no, getting his SCV spotted running towards the upper right. That's something you don't want. One vulture actually going to go up there and spot that out. Get the spot on that new base. And another vulture going to come in there trying to pick off as much stuff as you can. Fantasy in there with his own vultures like, no way, Jose, my friend. Also, I think actually reestablishing the 12 o'clock position for himself. So Fantasy on 3 bases right now to highest 2. And play a good game right now. Keep on pressure. Deny an extra base from HiyA for HiyA, and you're going to be in very good position. Fantasy's going to be in very good position. Going to put a couple of siege tanks, a bunch of mines at the upper right hand. HiyA just now starting to work on starport on getting his dropships out there, and that's not the best position to be. Your Fantasy's still getting some more dropships out there, so he's overall going to be fairly good. Just going to continue dropping, continue getting those vultures out there, continue doing some damage. Also has a lot of vultures streaming across the ground. Has weapons upgrade superiority as well. And that's especially important when vultures are facing vultures. As the game goes on, it becomes less of a factor with tanks, but vultures with vultures also always important. Also at the middle, has some tanks facing his upper right hand. Gonna lose his... No! I thought he was going to lose his dropship there. But continue putting on the constant pressure. Didn't even see HiyA put down the inside 3 o'clock position, but that's pretty much being cleared of SCVs right there. HiyA coming in from the back to try to... he is might clear out those vultures, but not going to save any one of his SCVs. And Fantasy doesn't actually manage to put down any mines as he runs a bunch of those vultures away, far away. And oh my god, HiyA's in a bad position to be in. I thought he was putting on such nice pressure earlier on. Thought he was going to take a nice lead in this game. Has some forces on the right side and close to the middle, trying to threaten the upper right hand, but Fantasy has it all covered. Fun to see a dropship out there from HiyA as well, but Fantasy's just doing a great job of putting on the pressure. I think one of the biggest moves he made was when he went for the 6 o'clock. When he was being harassed himself, he instead continued getting the upper right hand position and he went for full attack on that 6, denying that. Make sure that would not come up again. He has a gigantic minefield actually there waiting for anything that might be silly enough to try to do something. Tanks here at that upper right hand. Bunch of vultures did scan the mines, trying to go in there, do the damage, trying to plant some mines. SCV's coming off the line though, trying to go get rid of those mines before they come in close to the tanks. As long as you deny the mines, you're going to be in good position. Meanwhile, Fantasy going to yet again go for this inside 3 o'clock position, pick some more SCVs off. Is going to eventually lose his vultures, but every little bit counts right now for him. And he just knows as soon as he keeps up the pressure, he's going to be in good position. 4 dropships now for him, so he's also going to be able to resupply and reinforce anything he needs. Only 2 dropships for his opponent. It doesn't really have that much saturation here at the upper right end, seeing as how he lost a lot of his SCVs fighting, but Valiant SCVs, such beautiful people. SCVs, beautiful people, but still at the very least doing a great job of this. Oh man, going for these dropships, dropping right across. He lost one on the way, but dropping across and clearing up this north side for himself, so that the only thing he has to go is continue facing down the middle. A lot of siege tanks here waiting for him here at the front, and the dropship doesn't have anything in it to drop on top of that, but still clearing up the position, has the SCV in there to help repair against those tanks. And HiyA now being constantly pressured, does have those 3 bases, but still in not best of positions to be in. Because Fantasy's on 4, I think he might even be expanding the lower F10 position, like, hey, I got a base close to your base. What you gonna do about it? Nothing! So we might see Fantasy versus Jang be in the final match, some rematch action. Be totally willing to watch some of that. Sounds exciting, actually. Let's see here. Another huge drop from Fantasy. Bunch of tanks clearing all of that up, and now we're probably going to be seeing the GG very soon. A lot of forces out there for Fantasy, not a lot out there for HiyA. Close enough that Fantasy can just saunter in there with his forces and completely dominate this entire thing. And still has defense on all of his own sides, so nothing really much at all that HiyA can do except GG right there. So, alrighty then, gonna move on to some awesome final match action. GG guys, ranching out, that's listening, hope you enjoyed.
자, 정명훈 선수 최종전 진출에 성공하는 모습이고요. 오늘의 2번째 경기였었죠. 20분 50초가 소요됐었던 트라이애슬론에서의 허영무 선수의 완벽한